This is a critical time for America, for you, and for me personally. A series of time bombs planted years ago are now beginning to explode in Iraq, in the Middle East, in Europe, and all over the world. I've read your emails, heard your voicemail messages, and now, with my Money and Markets team by my side, I'm here to address your concerns, to help you understand what's happening and guide you to prudent action. Today and Thursday, in this same place and this same time, I'll bring you a series of briefings that are designed not only to insulate your money, but also guard your safety and your family's well-being. I'll name the 6 most common investor pitfalls that could erode or even destroy your wealth in times like these. And I'll give you the strategies I'm personally using to build a protective wall of wealth for my family, for the best of times and the worst of times. Just look around you. Look at what's happening in the world. Clearly, you will see that we're nearing a tipping point for us all. 13 years minus 9 days ago, a small group of terrorists attacked the very heart of our nation. They killed almost 3,000 people. They caused at least $10 billion in damage. They set off a tragic chain of events that has continued to ricochet through time with a tremendous cost in life and treasure. The U.S. invasion of Iraq, the fall of Saddam Hussein, the emergence of Al-Qaeda in Iraq, and now the rise of ISIS, the most brutal, most powerful terrorist organization of all time. This chain of events has weakened our nation. It has propelled our government to spy on us. And it has now brought us around full circle to the danger of larger terrorist attacks on our soil. At the same time, in parallel to the global war on terror, we've also had a global war on financial crisis. 15 years ago, well before Al-Qaeda's first attacks on America, our tech stocks began to crumble, only to crash even further after 9/11. Over $5 trillion in equity value was wiped out. Our entire economy was temporarily paralyzed. And what's worse, that crisis set off a tragic chain of economic events that continue to ricochet through time. Radical interest rate cuts by Fed Chairman Greenspan, a great housing bubble and bust, the implosion of major Wall Street firms, the emergence of a deadly debt crisis, and now the most risky and largest Fed money printing operation of all time, under Fed Chairman Bernanke and Yellen. This chain of events has made the rich, especially wealthy Wall Street institutions, richer. But it has also wiped out vast amounts of invested wealth, the hard-earned savings of millions of everyday Americans. It has propelled many investors to take unprecedented risks, and it's likely to bring us around full circle to the brink of another, potentially bigger financial crisis. So there you have it, the global war on terror, the global war on financial crisis. 2 parallel and powerful historical sequences that are gaining momentum and reaching a crescendo. Just bear in mind that not all is black and white. For example, in a simplistic view of the world, global conflicts would automatically impact U.S. markets negatively. But that's not always the case. In fact, as Larry Adelson has correctly pointed out, right now, troubles overseas are driving large sums of fear money into the U.S. stock market, pushing our stock prices up and not down. And as Mike Larson has written, some of that flight capital is also flowing into key U.S. sectors such as real estate and energy. This is one reason why our markets have been going up. Another reason is the Federal Reserve. Years ago, bad economic or political news meant bad news for investors, a rationale for avoiding stocks. But today, the Fed uses bad news as an excuse to pump up the stock market and inflate the economy even more with tactics that would have been unthinkable years ago. Plus, some stocks have been soaring regardless of the fear money or the Fed money, based on their own merits. Here's the key. More so than ever before, with much of the world in turmoil and Washington in gridlock, the onus for defining your destiny falls squarely on you. Wealth preservation and wealth building are no longer just options, they're a must. More so than ever before, you will need money in order to insulate yourself from the geopolitical and financial threats, to live in the world's safest places, to be less dependent on the job market, to secure your retirement, and to preserve your personal freedoms. This is the goal that my Money and Markets team and I pursue for you every day. And this is the goal we'll start helping you achieve with this video series. On Thursday, the day after tomorrow, I'll address many of your most urgent concerns. I will name the 6 most common investor pitfalls in times like these, plus how to avoid them. And next week, I plan to give you what I believe is the ultimate wealth building strategy for times like these. Altogether, this is the single most important series of briefings we've given you since we warned you of the looming housing bust and debt crisis 7 years ago. If you promise me now that you're coming to the next week's series, I'll send you 4 important lists that I'm going to be talking about. The stocks with the highest Weiss ratings on our buy list, the stocks with the lowest Weiss ratings on our dump now list, and 2 similar lists for ETFs. Just click below the screen and let me know you're coming. Then next week, along with the lists, I'll also email you the exact time and instructions for attending. This is a critical time for all of us. But by working together, we can help you get through the tumultuous days ahead in safety and comfort. This is Martin Weiss wishing you good luck and God bless.